Hello, folks. Good day wherever you are. This is Dr. Godswill Oki, coming back to discuss with you once again. Thank you wherever you are. I know and I trust that your day is going on well. We've received a lot of comments, and I want to think that some of the answers we gave you have met with the needs, have met with provided solutions to what you need, and we'll keep on moving ahead. Thank you. We are almost through with this series, talking about personal communication as it affects the individual in an organization. But before we round up, we are going to look at something also which is essential, which deals with the individual in the organization and at the same time helps in building harmony, goodwill, and togetherness in that organization. Is that aspect of communication called chromatics? Chromatics. This applies to the use of colors in communicating, in nonverbal communication. Some people may say, what is it all about? But actually, colors communicate. Whereas some colors will communicate harshness, some will communicate being aloof, leave me alone, I want to be by myself. Some will communicate unity, warmth. So this is something very interesting that those who want to grow in organizations will do. For instance, you look at some of these high techs, you find out that other individuals within the cadre, within that organization, want to dress, want to wear the same kind of colors like Bill Gates does, or like Mark Zuckerberg does, or Steve Jobs. It's all about colors, it's all about style, and that is important. It shows you're in agreement, you're in tune with what the organization is all about. It's building up the corporate culture of that organization. Thank you very much. So colors are quite important in an organization. They help to identify that individual. What do you want to know? How do you want people to know you, to assess you? Depends, beside other factors which are important, besides depends also on the colors you use, the colors of your shirt, the colors of your jacket, the colors of your trousers, your shoes. All these impact and they help to create that personality, which is you in that organization. Colors are important. Like we say, colors help to define the individual. If you're in an organization that you dress formally, it will be in place for you to wear colors that depict that and to dress that way. It matters. It shows unity. You don't want to be considered an outlier, or you want to be considered a radical. And some organizations may not want that, especially the conservative types. And it depends on the organization. If it's an entertainment organization and you dress down, fine, and you wear loud colors, fine. But that may not be expected, should not be expected in a corporate entity. How you dress and the colors you wear, they matter a lot. And they also help subtly, mind you, in presenting you in either a favorable light or in a negative light. But these things are built from the subconscious before it gets to the surface as it is. So our use of colors matter a lot. So our colors should project harmony. How do I mean? It should project cohesion. It should project unity with the mores of that organization and with the way you want to be seen as a member of that organization. Am I saying that this is always the case? No, that's not what I'm saying. But there are situations whereby you have to conform. There are also situations whereby you may want to be different, like the man in the checkered red shirt. I think that was used in an advertisement in the 40s, thereabout. He stood out as a result of what he wore, and the boss noticed him. That may be fine, but it may not be acceptable in every situation. For instance, if you're a banker, you are not expected to dress in ways that people will say, "Are you sure this person works in a bank?" You know, I know students have their different codes, dress codes, but you may also want to subsume your personality into how the environment operates, into how the school system operates. That may be it for colors today. There are so many other things, there are so many other nonverbal cues which define how we are seen in that organization. And I'm happy to know that we've covered most of these. We shall look briefly. Some other aspects have come up because some people made inquiries that we need to look at them. And this concerns attitudes, attitudes, uh, perception, perception, and personal image. These are very important in growing in our growth in an organization. Our attitudes, and then the perception we have either of ourselves or of others, or the ones that others have of us. It's important. As a matter of fact, the perceptions we have about ourselves do not matter so much, but how the others, especially our superiors, see us, matter the most. And also our subordinates, because subordinates can undermine you if you're poorly perceived. So the perception matters a lot. And the last part we shall look at is the personal image. What image are you exuding? What image? When people think about you, what do they think about? It's very important because it determines a lot about our relationship in the organization. It's important because it examines, you know, how we interface with one another in the organization, our personal image. When people mention your name in that organization, how will you be? How will they react? For instance, you find out that some CEOs are so bad that when they have visitors, for instance, those are the gates, the cues they pass across, the signals they pass across signify, maybe this is not the person that should be here. But in some other cases, the signals they pass across, that's those as you're coming in, the gatekeepers, not necessarily literally speaking about gatekeepers, those the clerks, the receptionists, and all. You find out that they are warm about the personality of the CEO or the superior officer. So these are some of the things we shall be looking at. And after that, I think we've dwelt enough on personal communication in the organization. We shall we shall now look at the internal communications. The internal communication examines essentially what are those things that pass across, uh, that people communicate with in an organization. How effectively are they being used? Are they being used haphazardly? And do they receive feedback? Before we will now look at external communications, and an aspect of communication which is important, it is feedback. These are very important and exciting topics, because we find out that a lot of people, they may have an idea subconsciously or consciously of some of these things we've treated, but they've not called it to fore. They've not brought it up to the fore. They've not brainstormed about it. They've not thought through about it, because they may not consider them important. But fortunately or fortunately, these are very important, and these are the things that define whom we are, how we will grow. Some of them define our career path, whom we associate with and how we want to be associated with, the recognition that we get and other factors. So I want to thank you once again, and I wish you a very happy weekend. Later on, we shall be looking at attitudes, perceptions, and the personal image, afterwards, we'll move into the internal communications. Thank you once again. This is me, Dr. Godswill Oki, a communication expert. So endeavor to subscribe, share, share, and embed what you've learned and what you are learning. And you can search through, or you can call me, or you can chat me up, DM me, and we will clarify whatever thing that you may not know. Thank you once again, and have a great day.